Hi, my name is Kyle Clower, and I'm with Serve Wisconsin, and we're talking to some of our AmeriCorps members about their service. And today we're talking with Anna, who's serving with PASS AmeriCorps. So, Anna, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. The sun is shining here in Madison, so that's lovely. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, it's been great. I was excited when Bonnie, actually, our just director, reached out to me and said that she would love for me to do this interview with you. So I'm definitely excited.
It's great. And so, could you just start off by telling us a little bit about what your AmeriCorps service looks like this year with PASS?
Yeah, so it honestly started off a little bit different than how it's ending. Obviously, we all know we're in the middle of a pandemic, so I actually started off virtual a lot of the time. So I'm a Pass AmeriCorps member at Blackhawk Middle School, and most of my job consists of academic coaching and then facilitating after-school programming. So a lot of that was virtual up until recently. And so we do a lot of like virtual clubs like games club and anime club, volleyball club, and fun things like that for like after school. And then like during the day, I would spend a lot of time in teachers' classes, specifically like math in the sixth grade. And I'd work with students on like their math skills and like tips and tricks on like how to do well on like quizzes and homework and whatnot. So yeah, and then I've recently transitioned to doing part of that in person with in-person programming. So that has been really fun and neat to get to see the kids obviously safely and everything like that, and I'll just have a good time.
And then, are you working with the same classrooms you're working with when you were doing it virtually, or is it with different teachers or different like sets of kids for after school activities?
Yeah, so I have worked with one teacher like consistently from virtual then to in person, and then I actually gained a new teacher because since they switched a lot of the student schedules around, a lot of my students went to a different math teacher, but I've been working with her as well, and it's been really a positive experience for sure. And then I do have some of my students actually from the like academic coaching sessions coming into after school programming, and so that's been really cool. And they'll kind of be like, "Oh, are you from like the Zoom, like Miss Anna?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I am." It's great because we all get along and like to play things like Foursquare and kickball. So yeah.
You said that's what you're doing with your after the some of the after school kids.
Yeah. hmm
And so have those activities changed much? Are they some of the same pieces, or are they different now that you're in person?
I actually think they're pretty different. I mean, sometimes we'll do like cahoots and stuff for fun. But a lot of the like things we did virtually were like virtual games or like virtual scavenger hunts, virtual escape rooms, and then now when we're in person, we're kind of trying to like implement all those like safely and social distancing, like yeah. And so we spent a lot of time outside, and so a lot of the activities do differ. We've made soap recently, which was fun, and the students kind of like design their own Air Force Ones with like paper and stuff, so that's been really cool too.
Have you seen much of a change with the kids with kind of how the interaction goes now that you've switched from that virtual world to the in-person world?
Yeah, I do. I think there's it's exciting. I mean, it almost like recently when they went back in person, a lot of them were telling me that it kind of felt like the first day of school again. Like there's like that like itch to be like, "Oh, what's new? Like this is going to be great." Like, you don't know people's heights when you're virtual. You don't know a lot of things. So they were all excited about that. And I think now we're getting a lot more comfortable with because a lot of the same kids come to programming, and so they're getting a lot more comfortable with each other, and yeah, it's nice to get to know someone in person.
And then Anna, I know that with past AmeriCorps members, they're working with their students. They often create a set club or after school activity to work with their students. So, what was the activity you did with your students this year?
Yeah. So virtually, I was thinking like when I was a kid, actually, I w- was always wondering why they never kind of talked about like how diverse places are, but not just like diversity and like like thought and looks. Like it was more of like what's the word, like beauty and culture and fashion. So I always was like I think it'd be really cool to have like an emphasis on that in one of our clubs. So one of the clubs that I thought of, and the acronym that my supervisor helped me think of was beauty and diversity. So it's like BID. So we'd often call it bid club. And what we would do in bid club essentially is that each week we'd focus on a country, and then we'd focus on that country's like brief history, but as well as in that history, we would talk about their beauty standards, their fashion, both modern and like older fashion, and then like current events. And so like each week it was like the theory, like we'd take our like little passport and go like each place. And yeah, the students would then like be engaged in the material, ask questions, and we'd play games at the end and big play games for prizes and whatnot. But it was really cool because what I was trying to get from the end of the club, which I think was understood, is that we're all very connected, like as a human race, and like a lot of beauty standards or like ideals that you'll find like in places in like Asia, you could also find in places in like the continent of Africa. So like I wanted to see that connection and also the influence that different countries have on like different regions in their fashion. So it was cool to see them like pick up on how certain things can be really similar, but also very, very different and unique in their own special ways. And so, yeah, Bid Club was just virtual. And so, but it was good. It was really good. I think the students enjoyed their time.
Why did you decide to become an AmeriCorps member, and why did you decide to serve with PASS AmeriCorps?
Yeah, I actually was like born and raised in the Madison area, and once I mean I dawned on this opportunity when I was in college. We actually like got an email about it, and I was like, "This looks really cool." And then once I was looking into it, I realized that I was part of a couple of the community centers that were listed under like Pass AmeriCorps. So like as a kid, I went to Meadowood Neighborhood Center and Bridge Lake Point Winona for a little bit. And so it just like felt like my whole world was like coming back full circle. And I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Like I even remember some of the staff that were there when I was like a kid. And so that was really, really cool too. And then the main thing obviously was to like give back to my community, a community I grew up in. And yeah, just like learn about how to facilitate programming better and work with students and like students from diverse backgrounds as well. So that's kind of what led me to this opportunity with Pass AmeriCorps.
What are some of the favorite memories you have from this year? Some stories you have from your service you could share with us?
Yeah. I could say I can give one story from virtual and one story from in person. I know when virtually we actually were part of the like our whole cohort past AmeriCorps was running a food drive. It was like trick or treat so others can eat. And that was really cool to see it like come to play virtually. It was really cool to see what other sites were doing, but my site specifically, we were able to write letters to grocery stores like Pick and Save and Willie Street Co-op, asking them to donate and why it's important. And we actually got a large donation from Willie Street Co-op, which is really cool. And the students really felt like that itch for like service work, and so that was really great. And yeah, we had a lot of fun like writing thank you letters with that and then playing games with that. And so that whole like a food drive was really, really, really cool, and especially because it was conducted completely virtually. So I really appreciated that, as well as in person. I One of my favorite memories is like we play Foursquare a lot, and we have like competitive Foursquare tournaments, and I think that's the students really, really enjoy that. And it's great to practice like good sportsmanship and like just like kind of like feeling the room, like those kind of things we don't necessarily teach students like in the classroom, but like they can learn elsewhere. And so that's been really cool to see students grow and gain more confidence and like how to play and yeah, be active as well.
And then, Anna, what are you planning to do after the end of your AmeriCorps term?
Yeah, that's a great question. I am like infamous for like not knowing exactly what I want to do. And so I have a lot of options. I definitely want to work with students. I'm still in school. I actually go to UW Madison, so I still have to finish my final year there or semester. And then, yeah, I definitely want to work with students. I have no idea in what capacity. I'm entertaining like teaching. I'm also entertaining something in the realm of like social work. So we'll definitely see. But I definitely, this experience has helped me realize that I do enjoy working with kids.
That's awesome. I know that it can be that People's AmeriCorps service can really help them kind of find a path or decide one of the directions they want to go. So that's great that the PASS service is doing that for you.
Mhm.
And then, is there anything else you would like to share about your service with PASS?
I would like to give a shout out to my supervisor, Elena. I think she really set the stage of like my experience and like how seamless and but also challenging, which is important to learn and stuff. But like she really made my experience overall a positive one. She is a former PASS AmeriCorps alum as well, so I think that really helped. She had a lot of knowledge about like what to do, what not to do. Um, and so I really appreciated her guidance and experience, and it's been really cool to also like then transition to in-person programming and us to be like working together every day, just try to make the kids have the most fun and be remain the most safe and yeah, learn the most. So I've really appreciated her guidance, and I think that that's really important in an experience like this is to have the proper guidance and knowledge leading you through the way.
That's great that you're able to have that connection with Elena to help be not only your supervisor, but someone that's had experience in PASS AmeriCorps herself and doing that piece. So thank Elena for us as well for her continued impact she's having and for helping you out also. Mm-hmm. And then Anna, we just want to say thank you so much for your service this year and for the difference you're making for the students over at Blackhawk.
Thank you so much for the interview. And yes, I've really enjoyed my time, and I can hope it's like even better in the summer.
So good luck with the rest of the summer, and I hope that whatever you end up doing in the future, you're able to keep making a difference for folks. And thanks so much for AmeriCorps service.
Thank you.